Because this is the thing, Scorpios are wise to know that there are many things that you actually do keep secret. And secret doesn't mean secret. Secret just means silent. And me as a Gemini, I like to share too many things. I talk too much. I see a lot as me being who I am. And my lesson is learning what not to speak on, because I'm only ever to speak on it from my individual perspective. So it's anytime someone says I'm projecting, they're only ever right. Because the fact that I'm communicating means that I'm exposing how I feel and how I've connected with myself up to that point. That's what it means to bare yourself to the universe. Literally, I'm baring myself right now. I'm exposing who I am just by making this podcast. So Scorpios know that, like, it's much better to when you're dealing with people's subconscious worlds, because this is the number 8. Scorpio being the number 8, it's all about the vibration and the soul. Like, the soul is the number 8. The soul has the energy signature of 2, but then the structure of 8. Like, that's where the soul is 8, because it's about containing the 2. So when you look at 8, you see 2 circles. One circle could just be like the something circle, the ego circle. The other circle could be the nothing circle, or the spirit circle. Really, how I've explained it with spiders is more elemental, better. It's just, it correlates. But top circle of the 8 is the fire circle, which is you alone in your imagination. And then the bottom circle of the 8 is the water circle, which is you connecting with your imagination. And that's where the rest of life happens. And that's like the whole of the universe. Because now everything that you're seeing and able to interact with, and anytime you're doing anything, that's you operating from the fire that no one else can see. You're operating from your alone realm so that you can be visible, so that you can carry your fire. Like Mercury, you can carry your fire into the water that you're in. And now you can be seen as a star. And now you can communicate your individuality into the outside and express it for everyone to see. And now everyone can be inspired by who you are, because you carried your fire into water. Versus if you just kept your fire out of the water, no one can see you. So the number 8 is the universe. We feel like connecting. We can only connect from being alone. And then, of course, the more we connect, the more we get into a space of realizing that we have to go back to being alone. Because then we're getting lost in those connections. That's the point of hell. So this is why heaven is individuality. Hell is collectivity. And these white supremacists have it completely flipped on everybody. Thinking, like, having everyone think like, oh, okay, I need to get to heaven, where I'll just be part of something else. Like, that's literally the epitome of hell. They're actually tricking you to go to hell by making you think you need to go to heaven. That's hilarious. Like, I've never actually even said it like that. I have not processed it like that. But it's literally, that's what it is. Like, they have to trick you to go to hell by calling it heaven. When in reality, am I going to be an individual there? Like, these were my questions as a kid. Man, there's so much life as a kid, like asking questions and wondering about Christianity to get up to this point of just being able to like chop it up. Like, man, this stupid. Like, just seeing where it's coming from and like how people are getting lost in it and everything, and like how it's being weaponized to further make the genocide of my indigenous family profitable for people who claim to be love and light. Because those were the questions. Like, how much individuality am I going to have in heaven? None? This does not sound like heaven. Like, literally, as a kid, I was already thinking, like, bro, like, my heaven would be me coming here on my choice. Like, this is whack. But I'm just forced to believe it because I have to connect with people on their level. So it's deep down here. That's just a natural balance of life. As individuals, we can't exist without connecting. So that's the point of why it's always in this balance of like, okay, we connect, but we connect just enough so that we can respect each other's individuality, I would hope. And I'm pretty sure that's like subconscious. Like most spirits get that on a subconscious level. Literally. Like when I say that, most people aren't going to disagree. In fact, I don't really think one person in my life would disagree. Because that's where then like everyone has their individual religion. Everyone has their individual ideas of who should be related with, but then I'm only ever going to expose how that is their individual idea of what to connect with, which could only be informed by then another individual and a bigger connection, because they did not create the language that they're speaking right now. Because literally, it's hilarious. Like, even when I've been... Okay, so here's the lessons on impermanence. This is how I can segue. My TikTok got deleted. My TikTok got banned. And it's quite a shame. Right when I was, like, blowing up. Like, I was stuck at 3,000 for a while. Literally within 2 weeks. Because I started fasting. So I just got off of fasting for 19 days straight. Just got done fasting. No food. Only water. For 19 days. Here in October. And I was posting about it on my TikTok. And I started posting about it around day 11. And I started blowing up. And at 17.5, my TikTok has been banned. And I cannot get symmetry back. And I'm trying not to be devastated. And I've already like just processed. I'm like, man, what? Like, wow. So much time, like so many videos, so much typing, so much commenting, so much connecting and stuff. Oh my God. And it's just like, is this what trees feel like when they get uprooted and like turned into something by someone who doesn't care about them? Because now like this app just has all my information and all my stuff, and like it's just attached from me. I can't use it, but they can. And then it's like, well, they don't even care to use it. And it's like, well, that's even worse. That's literally you just going around destroying people's structures just because you want to. But the thing is, yeah, supposedly I got banned because fasting is dangerous. Also, I had vapes in my videos. But one, they're very legal here in California. And two, I wasn't even like vaping in them. And they were like blowing up and old. So it's like they basically just went and took down my account retroactively for a bunch of old videos. That like, for videos from like, basically how it happened was, once I started posting in my fast, like 11 days, 12 days, 13 days, 14 days, I'm just like talking about like all the benefits of fasting, the health benefits. One video just like went up, like blew up and got like 52.7 thousand, and I never had a video get that many. Like most of my videos literally get a couple hundred views, like 200, 300. And a few of my fasting videos have gotten like a couple thousand views. So, because my account started as a fasting account. The Symmetry TikTok account started with me fasting because I wasn't nearly this spiritual or like able to like take my mind from my body and like conceive everything and like communicate them in these ways. So it was through fasting that science became more spiritual, and that reflects in my social media in general. Like I wasn't spiritual really like this until I started fasting. So you know, of course, like the motivation to get into the fasting was all subconscious because I already knew what I came here to do. The TikTok for Symmetry started as fasting and then slowly evolved, turned into spirituality. And spirituality videos aren't like nearly as big as like people wanting to be healthy. So my account wasn't like going anywhere too far, too fast, and it was like fine, whatever. But of course, like once I started fasting, I posted like, "Yo, I'm fasting. Like fasting cures cancer like this. Like fasting like heals cells like this. Fasting cleans the body like this. Fasting helps you communicate better like this." The videos started blowing up, and people were like sharing them. Like you get like 300 shares, like so many comments, all these people talking about like how much they fasted, all these questions about fasting. People are like visiting the website. I'm like, bro, yeah, lit, because I'm in a situation where white supremacy gets to steal my life from me because I just graduated from college, so I have like student loans and stuff. So I'm in a situation where I'm forced to serve a system that has only consumed everything from me. And I know that. And it makes it so frustrating then when I'm forced to go through all these loopholes and forced to limit my ability to communicate through these apps and through these smaller systems that just get to take everything away from me. While they're taking everything away from me, all underneath me having to be forced to live the idea that I must serve them. And this is like the ultimate hell. Like I'm in the ultimate hell right now with my awareness. Like I get why you have to be asleep in hell. You're woke in heaven, you're asleep in hell. Because when you're woke in hell, you kill yourself. Alright? Like straight up. This shit's wild. Like you're gonna steal my creations, use my caduceus to create health issues inside of my body, take land from my ancestors, force me to waste my time sitting all day every day in a whack-ass school system just so that you can put me in debt further to learn a bunch of stuff that has nothing to do with anything, really. Just way more debt so I could get a piece of paper to then be worthy enough to be a slave for you for not anywhere close to the amount that would allow me to pay off my college debt in a timely manner, let alone be able to live in the land that you've stolen, that you're constantly stealing from my indigenous ancestors. All while making me worship you for poisoning me with garbage ass food and poisoning me with garbage ass cars and poisoning my mind with garbage ass media. Again, while stealing my caduceus, while stealing my spiritual creations so that you can tell me that I'm not a spirit. This is the ultimate hell. I cannot express my unbridled rage. It is amazing how well I keep myself contained, and I will continuously keep myself more and more contained throughout life. I get it. Like I can't be anything but I feel so much just fire in that case. Passion, anger, Mars energy about all of this. And I've created the situation where I am I'm the lowest vibration possible. Like I'm feeling all the emotions. I can feel everything that people feel in this world. Like that's the point of all of us being connected. That's the point of all of us riding 1/8, one wave, one vibration. We're all in one V. You are in a V, you are in a vibration. We are all trapped in a 22-4 box. We're all boxed in this simulation together, riding a wave. That's what it means to be trapped in a vibe. That's here we are. That's what we're doing in a simulation. That's why we can relate. This is why I can feel basically everything. Like I can see basically everything. Like I as a spirit have gone through so much that I know what's up when I'm seeing things. I've seen the patterns, and I know that I have way more to learn. So it's not me ever believing that I know what's up. I can only ever know where I'm coming from. But then that's just where it's the spidey sense thing. You feel me? That's the nuance of symmetry, actually. Like that is the air. That's where the air comes in. Like you can't just actually know anything except yourself. Like you can't know what anyone else is thinking or feeling but yourself. you can project based on all the other experiences that you've had and get really good at that. And you get really good at that based on you actually perceiving other people's projections. And that's what I do. Like, so I don't project, but of course I have to project just enough to be able to perceive other people's projections. This is how I build Mercury. This is how I build my structures. That's what Virgo is, really. Like, as I'm like bringing words to that energy, if I'm going to like anchor that to Virgo, that's what Virgo is. It's about projecting just enough to perceive other people's projections so that you can build something that is constantly supporting how others change. And like, that's like my best way of serving the universe. That's the point of me building Mercury. Like, when I'm perceiving and seeing how other people change, I'm constantly working to like build structures that support that. Because the fact is, we're all changing in our own space, and this is where the whole universe is being created from. Us connecting first internally, then externally, from changing in our own space. Right? And here's the English language. How do we make money off of that change? There's a girl at this artist residency in Brazil who, she was cool. One of her big missions was figuring out why, or if she could speak about time in the English language without using money terms. And 3 weeks, it was so wild. Yo, it was literally, the third day was already like super trippy, and it didn't help that it was November 11th, 2011, and I felt the need to do 11 tabs of acid in Brazil. And I talked to this girl like 5 hours into my trip, and we were not on the same vibe. Holy shit. And it was hilarious because she was like flirting with me and stuff before, as far as like coming up to me and like rubbing me quite a bit and calling me like cutesy names like Chasey Wasey and Thanks Babe, and like winking at me. And I mainly took it as like, okay, this girl is like literally here to play. Like, she's for fun residency. Like, I want, like, how much Sagittarius does she have in her chart type deal. Because she's definitely just like wants to like have those like a playful flirty vibe or whatever. And it was hilarious because I shut all that down. Just by being too like on one in a trip. And it was when I came up the stairs from my room, and she was like cutting vegetables in the kitchen, and like when I like walked by her, she was like, oh, bon dia, something like that. And that's basically like, it's good morning in Portuguese, I'm pretty sure. And the conversation, I'm not even going to get into the details. The conversation basically spiraled into her telling me that if I was going to be a man of the people, I had to be able to speak Portuguese. And I was like, right, absolutely. It's just that I already have so many words in my head. Like, you know, having more would be a lot. Because I'm literally like tripping on 11 tabs of acid. Just like translating everything and like listening to like all the birds and bugs on the island just be themselves. All the bee energy connecting, right? Second letter of the alphabet. So I'm experiencing that right now. So like like that was what I said. And of course, to a non-tripping person, to someone who doesn't care to understand, like, that literally sounds like the most arrogant shit, right? Like, that literally sounds like, oh, you don't care about speaking the same language as others. And of course, she said a phrase that had to start with 2 C letters. She's like, it's just CC. It's just common courtesy. And she looked shocked. She looked like frightened. She was so offended at me. And I'm like, what? Oh, bro, okay. Yeah, alright. I see how this looks. That's hilarious. Fine. So it's just like, as a Taurus sun, my earth sign is a Scorpio. There's not much about earth signs on the internet. But I'm learning a lot about myself this Scorpio season, and just like how everywhere I am, yet nowhere at the same time. And it's like just truly that weird balance as a spirit of you communicating something from nothing, but then that's going to be informed by the pattern, like the vibrational resonance, literally the vibrational frequency, your soul, of what you've created before and how you've been operating. It's pretty wild. And that's the point of a soul. That's the point of then, when you know that as a spirit you communicate forever, why not build something out of it? You know, like that's, here I am. That's the point of Mercury being called away into any simulation to do anything. It's all about me building synchronistically. There's this new show that I'm gonna have to do for predictive programming, and it's like literally, it's called Inside Job, right? It's a cartoon where it's basically just all about like all the conspiracies, just all the conspiracies. Like, it's so silly. This cartoon that's out now, like, it's literally just 10 episodes of, it's like Rick and Morty type cartoon, where all the jokes, the whole premise is that everyone knows that the US government is being ran by a shadow government that uses white supremacist hyper metallic technology to spread genocide and make money off of slavery. And they do sacrificial rituals in order to do so. They consume aliens in order to do so, right? Like, they do all the freaky stuff that we can even talk about in order to spread genocide. And that's their main focus. This show, Inside Job, is all about making that as relatable as possible. Like, we're really here in 2021 where a show can literally be released like that now. It's remarkable. This is gnarly. It's truly gnarly watching that show. So there's just naturally, like, when spirits are connecting in general, the fact is communication is going to have to come out of that connection. And that communication is only ever going to build a structure that then supports how those spirits connect and communicate further. So this is the point of you as a spirit realizing that you are how you communicate in that way. That's basically like you, that's how, I mean, see, I'm bearing myself, right? This is the point. You're coming here for my projections. I'm the Trip C, the Trippy Trip C psychedelic psychopomp, symmetry, thrice great, Hermes, Trismegistus, because I triple my C to create in infinitely awesome ways. That's like, it's as simple as that. 3 times 3. Triple the C, become a 9-dimensional being. Realize that you are creating life. And now you can create heaven right now, right now, right now. And then that's just constant 10 energy. Constant connecting your ego with your space, and knowing that your ego, your imagination, is supported by your space, so you can always express more of your imagination. And that's the whole idea of heaven. That's why heaven is the letter J in the alphabet, because Jesus is supposed to be the superhero that can express his imagination in any space. And we're all that. Just by being alive, by beating your heart, you're expressing your imagination in this space. The whole point of everything that I'm sharing with Hermeticism and Simicism, right, is us knowing that our imaginations are infinitely unrelatable. So you can never share all of your imagination. It's impossible. You're just not going to do that. You can't. That's fire, right? Like, this is why white supremacy is causing climate change. It's why I'm called here, because this shadow government, as we see with this show Inside Job and so many other whack things, man, this stuff's wild. We see that their desire to express their imagination is what is the pure driving force behind rationalizing why money gets to enslave indigenous peoples and steal their lands and consume everything that we've created. So Scorpio dealing with the number 8. 8 is about the soul. Numerically, 8 is about home. 10 is about heaven, 8 is about home. 4 is about the structures and the thoughts that support the home or support your vibration, right? So when you know that you as a spirit are expressing yourself forever, like if you're ever going to do anything, that's you communicating your expression from nothing into something, then it's only ever practical and stable to make that matter and build something out of it, build a simulation out of it. And that's going to be the way that you get to create the circumstances where you're connecting with other spirits who resonate with your vibration. And then this is the whole point of hermetically being in touch with yourself and being in resonance with yourself in a way that allows you to build things harmoniously and happily and healthily. Because if you're not in a good, happy, or harmonious vibration inside of yourself, then it's going to be harder to build things. So this is the dance of what just all spirits have to go through. Right? Like more than enough TV shows and movies and books about artists or creatives and their journey of connecting with themselves so that they can express an idea into the world. And then it's like an hour and a half of making that relatable or some shit, right? So like, this is what it is forever. Like we're always building something to support our space. And then whatever we build is only ever going to transform based on how the way we connect with ourselves transforms. And the way we connect with ourselves is always transforming, because the fact is, you have not always been in a body. And furthermore, your body has not always looked like this. Right? Your body changes every day, actually. And your mind changes every day, actually. Right? But this language wouldn't matter if you weren't building upon that change in a stable way. So yeah, your emotions change, but these words anchor your emotions. Why? So you can connect. Look at that. Isn't that nice? So now, even though we all have our own emotions about life and our own emotions about words and our own connections and internal realms, the only way then that we can bring these twos to each other is to project them into the same force, project them into the same structure. 2 + 4 = 6 type deal. So now when we're all paying attention to the same word, we can all have sex together. We can all create life together. We can all have 6 together, because now we feel like we're in literally it's just that 2 + 4. We feel like we can connect. We feel like we can actually build a structure, basically, because we're able to consistently use these words to show each other who we are. Right? Like that's your name. First off. So boom, we had to use letters, like, right? Like we had to get into the alphabet of whatever culture we're in as a spirit to then get familiar with these letters in our soul and be able to make a name that resonates with us. That's why as Hermes Trismegistus, as the thrice great symmetry, I triple my C to be Chase Clarence Callaway, the caduceus from Mercury, to come teach Hermeticism, pretty please. Please, please, please. And then I'm like, okay. And click, click, schedule me in, fly out, just like right in that body. Like, all right, so I'll be alive from this time to this time. Just make sure my life is a synchronicity. Like, that's what it always is, all right? Because that's the point. Like, I'm stepping out of my space to show you that you're the synchronicity. So you are listening to this synchronistically. For you are the Synchranicity. As we are all drinking some Synchranicity, I'm about to blaze some Synchronicity. Even though I'm trapped in hell, I feel synchronicity-free. Because I know I'm here to help you. That's the whole point. And you help me. and we all help each other. I don't know how you help me, but I know you do, just by creating the universe. Really, that's how. When I go alone, when I am alone in my space, I like to be able to step out into my collective space of Mercury, because I have many spaces, I have many realms. I'm constantly building worlds. Best believe that. Like, my spirit is just constantly building worlds for other spirits to connect in. This is why it naturally happens the way that, like, spirits want to colonize the worlds that my indigenous family builds. So this is kind of nothing for us. You feel me? This like, is so trippy. But it's kind of nothing for us. You, like, actually though, like, it's everything because we are invested in what we build, but it's the balance of we're constantly building something better and new though. So I guess, like, this is the lesson of impermanence and, like, my TikTok getting deleted. Because it's a shame that all that work is gone. So much time, so much life. Like, I have to, like, now build it up again. But it's also kind of synchronistic, just based on there's this app called Clapper. So when I had my Symmetry TikTok, I made a new TikTok for the Always Ascending Academy section, because, like, I'm Symmetry, but then of course when I'm teaching, like, that has to be a different TikTok, and now I'm just forced to use that one. So that one's literally Tahuti Trismegistus, and it's interesting because it's kind of like, this is one way that Scorpio season has forced me to step more into my bag of being who I am. And it's super synchronistic to sort of, like, explain then, like, the whole point of symmetry. And I didn't even plan out the letters like this, but the letters are literally CY, Ma tree is planted here. So symmetry is literally CY, Ma tree is planted here. So I can connect with you. Boom. So I can create an atmosphere that allows everyone to breathe easily. We're literally, I'm so called away to this space in a synchronistically needed way that people literally think it's healthier not to breathe, because white supremacists want to make money by injecting them with heavy metals. And this is an idea that's gripping the world right now. Whereas I've been here fasting for years. The fact that my TikTok got deleted from me getting to 17.5 thousand in, like, 2 weeks for sharing fasting and everyone, like, talking about health and stuff only makes me stronger. Because it was also the fact of it wasn't entirely the fasting. It was partially. It was like they were telling me that I was endangering minors. So I have to change my language, basically. The way that I was talking about fasting as symmetry is not how I'm going to be talking about fasting as Tahuti Trismegistus. So hopefully my Tahuti Trismegistus TikTok will be good, because I'm going to be much more contained. Again, it was like the vape thing too, but, like, those videos blew up without the vape. Or no, those videos blew up with the vape and were fine. And, like, a week went by and now I'm posting more, and then, like, they just started giving me community guidelines violations and then just blocked me. And now I don't have my symmetry name anymore. So it's like the universe and myself, because I'm the universe. So it's always that balance. This is the point of Scorpio season, the number 8. Like, it's you dancing with the universe, your soul and the universe. And the universal soul is created by all the souls outside of you. So it's like the universe has put me in a situation where I'm now TT on TT. I'm Tahuti Trismegistus on TikTok. Follow TT on TT. And I am Symmetry on Clapper. I'm C on C. Or CT on CL. Or CP. CL on CP. Symmetry on Clapper. C on law, CT on CP. Whatever, C on C, CT on CP, TT on TT. Regardless, it is Symmetry on Clapper. It is Sudi Trismegistus on TikTok. Clapper is supposedly an app where like the people who get blocked from TikTok go, lol. So that's like the whole kind of point, is like this weird censorship thing. And it's funny because I'm just now getting to the main point of this episode that I like wanted to say. Everything else was leading up to it. So I'm glad we got this 1 hour and 13 minutes out of the way. That's so funny. The lesson of impermanence, and how you as a spirit are not what you build, and you are not what you believe in. You are not what you feel like. You're not even the feeling yourself. Like, you as a spirit are nothing. Absolutely nothing. This is how you can change your awareness and shift, do anything, be infinite, be aware of anything, whatever. So when you as a spirit have to anchor your awareness into a body, that then means that you're going to build up a mind, because that mind is what's going to make the body matter. The only way you could anchor your awareness to a body is to use a mind that allows that body to matter. So this is why all the muscles in your body react to your mind, contract and expand, just like your mind. So this lesson of impermanence, of just like all the time, all the weight, all the energy that I put into that TikTok, and even just fasting, and not gonna lie, like on some Scorpio shit, like I am in a position where I'm supposed to be building a business. I'm supposed to be able to make a living. I'm supposed to be able to support myself in land that's being stolen from me, actively stolen. Like I say, like not like it's fully gone yet, because there's still more being stolen. So sometimes I'm like, I go back and forth between it is still being stolen, because it is, but like so much of it has been stolen that it's already stolen. So but the moment we believe it's all gone, then that is an idea that we're not manifesting here. That's not life. Like, that's the reverse psychology. The moment you believe the earth is fucked type shit, now it's fucked. The moment you believe it's too late to reverse climate change, now it is, because you're creating that idea right now. It's not too late, it's never too late. Damn. What is that song? Where'd that come from, bro? It was like I forget that song, but then it's like, it's not too late, it's never too late. Yeah, that was hilarious. Growing up listening to that radio station was The Sound. Shout out The Sound. Oh my gosh, so much alternative rock. I've had a great time in this life, like for real. It has been like a whole synchronicity. It has been a whole wave. It has been a whole ride. It has been a whole vibe. Like, truly every simulation, like, this is where life is truly about planning for the next, you know? Like, this is kind of what we're talking about here, as far as when things are impermanent. This gets us to the number 8 energy. Like, the universe is constantly transforming energy. So it's like things are impermanent, but nothing is impermanent. And then that's just where you can make things permanent with your impermanence. It's just about what is consistently you. Like, when you are a spirit and you step out of your space to do your thing, what is consistently you? What vibration? What feeling? What soulful resonance do you naturally ride when you express yourself. This is the point of intuition, and like what people have to learn in this lifetime, as far as learning how to listen to themselves and learn how to level up from that. Listen to the environment. That was my whole thing at the artist residency, where I had to really get way better at listening. And it was like, I'm already so good at listening, so actually I was probably being hyper indulgent in listening, which is still lit. I actually need to get better at talking. So that's what it was. Because no, I was listening more like everywhere all the time. That was the point of like, especially getting psychedelic. It was like overwhelming, the things I was hearing. But it's like, it's literally about actually speaking. I don't know. I guess I'm saying listening because I'm literally thinking about what is supposed to come from listening, which is the proper speaking. Like just actually building properly. So damn. These are things that only I can teach myself. This shit's so weird. Like, I don't have a dad. This is and this is like where things get like super deep. This Scorpio time was so deep. I am gonna share these things, but I'm just not gonna share like all like the super deep stuff, of course. But like even this is like super duper deep, because that's the 8, infinitely deep. Like, how deep can infinity go? Like, how far does one's emotions reach? You know, like, it's wild. Like, that's why water is just infinitely chaotic. And it's all about that vibration. Because so it seems that not having a dad growing up is a reflection of a bigger story in my life as Hermes. And in general, the idea of like being abandoned, or the idea of like connecting with someone who doesn't really want to connect with you, and the idea of putting all your energy, or like, yeah, just putting energy into connecting with someone who does not want to connect with you in the same way, is whack. And I guess like that's like basically what leads to abandonment. Like when one's thinking about a son growing up and constantly putting energy into a connection where the father is acting like he wants to connect with you, but then never shows it. Damn. Cause look, family, like I've been like I've literally like been crying like the past few days out of nowhere, just cause like things in like the environment and like relationships have like triggered me. So this is truly like the point of life not happening alone. Like this is why it's like astrology is important, and everyone's emotions are then important. The soul is important. The vibration is important. The universe is one big vibration. We're all connected by our feeling. Like this whole podcast is coming from my feeling right now. This tree is growing from my feeling, from my water, from me connecting in these specific ways because of my memories and experiences that you can't see. Only I can see them as a spirit, but because I would like to build something out of them in a way that makes it stable and practical for other spirits to connect upon, here I am, using words that are relatable and thus real eatable, real ateable, a real 8 table, something we can infinitely build upon because it's already been so real. We've already agreed upon what these words mean. We've already agreed upon the subconscious connections to the ways that all these letters are arranged. So now Hermes is here. And I get to play. I get to play, nigga. Comedy. I really do. I get to be here. I get to say whatever the fuck I want. Because this shit simultaneously means nothing and everything to me. And thus it's just all about showing you that you can also be nothing and thus be anything you want to be from there. And now no word has power over you. And then that's where we have empathy, of course. Like, I, as Symmetry, don't like being called the N-word. That being said, it has no power over me. What? But emotionally, I'll get triggered based on my memories. Like, I've almost been killed by men saying that word. And I've had to destroy the faces. That shit was gnarly. That shit was gnarly. That fight was gnarly. I'm not even going to get into that right now. So, this is the 8. We are all, as spirits, writing our own old gold souls. Our own gold souls. Goldfish. Goldfish in a bowl. That's the soul right there. Goldfish in a bowl. You literally observing yourself inside of your emotions. You can never get out of your emotions. You can just literally create air that allows you to travel outside of your emotions, which is only ever going to be powered by your emotions, though. So that's the point of communication. And then we can build structures that allow us to look like we're not emotional. But guess what? You only built that structure because you felt like it, nigga.